President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's wife, Senator Remi Tinubu, calling on Davido, Burna Boy, Asake, and every other Nigerian musician she may have mentioned. She calling them out is uncalled for. She pleading with them to have foundation. Is it time to embarrass them or what? You see, I'm sorry to say, yes, with due respect, based on firstly, let me respect our office. But you see, that is hypocrisy. If I were to be President Tinubu and the APC, all the APC people in the government of Tinubu, I will plead with the president, if it is possible, let your wife not be talking this period. I don't even want the APC to win or to continue government. But if I were to be in their shoes, my advice would be to the president, can your wife just keep quiet? This period of campaign, can she just be low-key? Because it seems like whenever she talks, she tends to offend people the more. What kind of hypocrisy is this? It's calling them, this is called art, if you ask me. Is she trying to drag them? Huh? As this guy has not been helping people, I don't know much about Asake, but I know that Davido does a lot of philanthropy. I know that Burna Boy, what Burna Boy is doing through Very Dark Man, VDM now, and what they have been doing in the past. Not this guy, they don't even announce all the good things that they are doing. Even me with the yeso, the little help I help, I don't announce it. But you see, every government official, they need to show their work. Yes, because the money they are even spending, all the money she said, they get 50,000 to people to do akara or whatever. It is not our money. It is government. It is from government money. But these guys they worked hard for their money. Comparing our musicians, our Nigerian artists with Akon. That Akon is helping. Who told you these guys are not helping? Nigerians are not helping according to their capacity. And anyone, nobody has the right to try to call them out to help. It is their money. They worked hard for it. It's not like politicians who grab free money. What is all this, for goodness sake? She came up with Akara talk and all that. Yes, even though that Akara talk makes sense to an extent. But you see, that was uncalled for. The woman now, every of her talk, when she talk, be like it is smell for people's ears. She should just stay, with all due respect, Madam First Lady. It is better because you see, the more you talk, the more you seem to be demarketing your husband, who has already been demarketed by his government that is not performing. Let me just add this. Every musician or celebrity or whatever actor, anyone in private sector, they have the right to buy whatever kind of car they want to buy, be it Maybach, be it private jets. It not concern anybody how they spend and use their money. The only two professions who have to be careful, who really need to watch. In fact, the only profession, let me just add pastors to it. I'm not adding pastors. If you are a politician holding public office, unless you were known to be wealthy before you become a politician, you're not to be wealthy and to be living a lavish life. You don't have rights to go about buying cars anyhow, living a luxurious life like Dino Melaya is doing, flashing cars, such an irrational and insensitive and childish behavior. No politician has the right. In a normal, look at politicians in the Western countries, even the ones who were wealthy before they entered politics. They live a kind of moderate and modest life. Go to the UK, go to America, what are you telling me? Then pastors. There are pastors even in America. I saw one American pastor, like a black American pastor, the FBI brought him and they dragged him. Took church money and bought a very expensive house. Now there are pastors whom people they give them luxurious gifts. But there are pastors who dip hand into church purse just for luxury. What nonsense is that? Then politicians. This is what Peter Obi is talking about. Unnecessary spending in government. Unnecessary cost. What do you call it? Unnecessary cost is part of the Nigerian problem. A government official will be voted into power. In that power, the millions spent in furnishing a particular department or whatever. This new government will want to spend more billions of naira. What is it? They want to change the cars, change furnitures. What is it? What kind of luxury is this? They don't consider. I'm not tired of this country.
Now, make I ask now, what thing government don't do? Government, they pay citizen. Government, they pay citizen. Out of 300 and something million citizens, when Nigerian get, how many governments they pay salary? Or how many governments they help, they assist they pay house rent. How many? How many? Go check other countries, make you see how government then get monthly salary. Even if you work, you know work, but at least you get what they call government support. When other government for other countries, they give their citizen, they support them to pay house rent. Even the one when they work, they go support them if in salary not they enough. The one when they work, the one when not they work, he get certain amount when they receive. As a citizen when he be. How many Nigerian government don't give? When they retire, when they work, they load, they too much for them. How many? Now you remember now say all these celebrities they now that they drive big cars. You know how many escort, how many convoy they follow your husband? Even you know how many convoy they follow you? You know how many convoy they follow you if they travel? How many cars? Remi Tinubu, you know how many convoy they follow Remi Tinubu? The ordinary wristwatch when Remi Tinubu wear, you know how much it be? How many youth Remi Tinubu don't support, don't do giveaway for? How many? I always say sometimes when they edit most of the things when they come out public, you can't talk, if they make sense. Fine, Burna Boy, Davido, Asake, those ones they can do giveaway, no problem. But after all, those ones that they give before. You know how much Burna Boy don't give very dark man to do community project for primary school, for community schools when it be say now government supposed to do them? You know how much? How much Nigerian government don't assist youth with? How many they don't open shop with? How many they don't sponsor for schools? How many scholarship they don't give?
I saw our mother, the mother of the nation, Auntie Remi Tinubu's video this morning, advising Davido, Burna Boy, Asake, instead of them buying big cars, to try and emulate Akon and use the money for charity. Auntie Remi is my favorite auntie, favorite first lady ever in this country. I love Auntie Remi from the days of our Senate. But Auntie, our first lady, our excellency, man. Before I go further, watch this video.
People, but our priorities are different. And I think it's high time we started helping those who need help in the country. I want to appeal to our young ones in the entertainment industry. I've mentioned it before, and I will use Akon, a music icon who does a lot of great charity work. They make the Burna Boys of this world, Asake, all of them, Davido. We want to see you with one foundation or the other, helping the poor with your money. Not just good cars are good. A Maybach is good, Rolls Royce is good, but still, you can still help. The burden on the government is huge. You can still help. There are pepper sellers, there are vegetable sellers, there are okra sellers, melon sellers, akara, cooling.
Yeah, our mommy. Yes, it's
Akara is
well,
delicious.
Mommy, you are the one that asked the state governors to buy women leaders in their states brand new jeeps. APC women leaders.
I have news for the states where we don't have the presence of APC, but we have members of APC. So to all our women leaders, from the woman leader for Abia State, APC woman leader, APC woman leader for Anambra State, APC woman leader for Bauchi State, APC leader for Osun State, APC leader for Oyo State. Your vehicles will be ready before the end of the week. So I urge all our governors,
Can you imagine?
This is how we want our women to be treated. The vehicles are your personal vehicles.
Can you imagine?
You are not giving it to the party.
Can you imagine?
Can you hold on, please? You register the vehicles in your name.
Can you imagine? See where the loan is going to. All the loan, billion dollar of loan, these people are collecting. We can see where the loans are going to.
Let me finish. You register all these vehicles.
See where your
your
loans.
name.
See where your loans are going to.
You have money to do that, which we won't talk about.
Can you imagine?
But register these vehicles in your name. And our beloved state governors, the APC governors, buy your women leaders vehicle.
Can you imagine?
We are not playing politics like before.
Can you imagine?
We are politicians, and people should see the value on us. So this is a blessed party, and we want
Supreme
our
Leader
women to take
Ayatollah's
power.
wife is talking.
So,
Supreme Leader Ayatollah of Bodilon wife is talking.
Please,
Those money too could have helped this groundnut seller, pepper sellers, akara sellers. Those money that you said they should use to buy jeeps for APC women leaders in their various states. The money can help the poor people in the states. And auntie, as majority of the states are APC states, why don't you advise all their governors to take 500 million naira every month aside to help the needy, to help the poor in their various states? If you tell them, they will do it. Tell them, Davido and Burna Boy and Asake, all of them, they've been trying in their own way. The governors that had their money too should do more, ma.
He said that the burden is too much for her husband, that the burden of the country is too much for her husband. It's just a simple thing, madam. Since he can't fix it, he should resign and quit and let a competent hand come in. You are calling on Davido, you are calling on Burna Boy, you are calling on Asake to help out, to be giving money out, because you see Burna Boy helping to build government school, helping to do this, helping to do all that. Davido on his own is trying, Asake too is trying. These three persons, Nigerian celebrity, cannot carry the problem of over 200 million Nigerians. Nigeria as a country, we have oil. We have all it takes to live well and live large. Your husband being the president couldn't solve the problem, couldn't create job for the citizens. He couldn't do it as the president, having all the billions, all the trillions within him there. He could not do it. You are calling on Davido, who is an individual who made his wealth through his talent. You are calling on Burna Boy, who made his wealth through his talent. You are calling on Asake to come and solve Nigerian problem. Why didn't you call on all the 36 state governors to create job in every state to alleviate the poverty in Nigeria? Why didn't you call on Akpabio, the Senate president, and all the senators? Why didn't you call on the House of Rep member? The money they are sharing, how much is their sitting allowance? How much is their monthly salary? Why don't you tell them you want to do salary slash? Reduce their salary with over 50% and use the balance to alleviate the poverty in Nigeria. You are calling on private individual. Madam, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. If I have contact with Davido and Burna Boy, I will personally tell them not to. The subsidy money you people stopped. You stop paying subsidy. Where is the subsidy money going to? You said, your husband said the subsidy money is going to the state governors. So why don't you mandate the 36 state governor? If you don't create job opportunity for your state, there is no possibility that you are coming back. Sometimes you people just come here, when they grant you people press interview, what you say is what will annoy Nigeria. Nigerians are already angry. They are hungry. They are mourning. They are bleeding already. Making this statement is like mockery. How many of them have contact with them? How many will Davido help? How many will he help? Will he be able to help even a state? No, he can't. That means you want him to be grinded. You want him to be grinded. You want Burna Boy to be grinded so that you will be the only wealthy family in Nigeria. You do well. Now you the prophesy past. Now you they read the Bible past. Now you talk past. Now you love Nigerians past. Why you're very safe? You're very safe. Why can't you from your own and be giving? You are calling on Burna Boy, calling on this, and you bought SUV for all the APC women leader in over many states. Why didn't you stop that project and use the money to, that money you spend is even enough to create job for over 3,000-4,000 persons in Nigeria. So why are you doing all this? I see this as an eye service, madam. The statement, I disagree with you and I will continue to disagree with you. I will not disagree to agree later. I disagree with you completely. This is a statement that does not augur well with me and does not augur well with every many Nigerians. It's not a good statement. Davido, Burna Asake, they are private individual who made their money through their talent. How can you be calling on them? He said, I urge you, like saying, now you born them. I mean, like now you put the money for their hand. I mean, they make money through the country. Tinubu empowered them. Is it Tinubu that empowered them? Those the government, your government empowered. Why didn't you call upon them? How much is Akpabio's salary? How many people is Akpabio empowering? Go to his village. Ask how many people he's empowering.
The First Lady has a need. And her need is unmet recognition. And because that is an intangible need, I would like to use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to explain it. So Maslow categorizes human needs into 5 categories. At the very bottom of that need is our physiological needs. Physiological needs is just dailies: food, water, shelter, sleep, survival, street hustle. That is physiological needs. And after that, going upward, you have your safety. Now you want employment to sustain you. You need security, you need protection, you need stability to move forward. And then you move upwards. Then you have that need for love and belonging. At this point, you want family, you want friendship, you want connection, you want that feeling, you want intimacy, you want to belong somewhere. And after that, you have the 4th one, close to the pyramid. It's self-esteem or esteem needs. At this point, you want to know who I am. Do you know who I am? I am this. Your recognition, you need respect. Now you say, I know my rights. That's the point most of us are in. But just after that point, you say it is lonely at the top, because if you look up, the pyramid is much tighter. And not everybody can get to that point. At that point, Maslow said it is self-actualization. At this point, you're the only one that can tell yourself, I've gotten to this point. Nobody, no cheerleading can tell you or convince you otherwise. You're the one to communicate this. At that point, there's something called acceptance, contentment, understanding of who you are. And this is where the conversation begins. Because this happens when people begin to insert themselves into conversations where their intervention produces no result. Then you know there's a problem. So the First Lady is asking Asake, Burna Boy, and the rest of the people to establish foundation to help the poor. How interesting. At the same time, she says it is charitable. By charity, you mean it's an act of free will. You have to do it yourself. It is when you feel like. So when people raise conversations that are not leading to anywhere, the question is why? The First Lady of Senegal did not tell Akon to open a foundation. Akon on his own thought about it and did it. But the First Lady of Nigeria feels the need to tell people to open foundations, even when she knows that some people are already doing this in their own capacity. The question is, why? The fact is that sometimes when people introduce popular names into completely unrelated conversations, the objective is not even to achieve that projected result. The objective sometimes is that proximity to attention. And perhaps this is a conversation that is worth having. Because what happens when a person has achieved status but has not achieved fulfillment? Because tell me, how can you lead over 200 million people and you're still searching for the room where you feel the most seen? And this is where Maslow said this is a self-actualization need. Maybe the top is not about how much influence you have. Maybe it is knowing what to do with it.
Hi, welcome back. See, I don't really understand this Remi Tinubu again, because her own matter is getting out of hand, and she's also the reason why some persons are seeing her husband as someone who cannot and who is not capable to control this nation because of how she speaks at times. Let me tell her something. She said that Davido Asake and every other guys out there should be using their money and their influence to hip Nigerians. There is one thing that she forgot to know. She forgot to know that Davido and Asake and Burna Boy use their talent to get this name for themselves. Not that it was government who sponsored them, that Remi would come to tell them that instead of them using the money to buy some luxurious and many other things, they should be using it to help the people. There is one thing I want Remi to know. Remi should know that this thing she's indirectly letting the people to know that her husband that is there today, there is a heavy load on him and he can't do anything anymore, and the husband is tired. That is what Remi has told us indirectly. But there is one thing I would like everybody to know. See, the Burna Boy, the Davido, and the Asake she has mentioned, those people have helped Nigerians more than the way this current government, has done. I can categorically tell you that most of the thing Burna Boy has done through some influencers in this country, I don't think Sheyi, Tiff Debu, and Tiff Debu himself can do it with their own funds. They cannot use their funds to do it if not government money. And these guys, it is the money they made by their self they are spending just to support the lives and properties. But these guys, they are not still grateful for the little things those guys have contributed, and they are still demanding a lot of things from them. If you want these guys to be doing and do the work of your husband, just tell your husband to come out and let these guys whom you have mentioned to take over the seat of your husband. If you want them to be doing the work of your husband, it's like you don't really know the level and the insult you are bringing to your husband today. Do you think that if the international community hear all this that you've said, they are going to be happy with you? No one is going to ever be happy with you, your husband, and your children, because the way you guys are trying to drive us is very, very crazy, and we cannot continue to go in your own pathway because we have been following you guys. We don't know our left, we don't know our right, and we don't even know our center, and you are still coming out to demand and beg the celebrity to help the people. Meanwhile, before your husband, got what he has today, he was here making mouth to everybody that once he became president and once he became this, he will do this, he will do that, and he will make sure that no one suffer. Now you want to carry the responsibility of your husband to the celebrities. We have not heard any of this thing under any regime before, if not this Bola Tinubu regime. See, I just want you, Remi Tinubu and many other guys to know. See, the things you are telling Davido, Burna Boy and Asake today, if you had told the governors of every state, it would have even been more understandable than what you have just said. See, you are shaming yourself, shaming your husband, shaming your children. I don't want to talk for long. This way I'm going to stop. And to those of you who have things in mind to say, everywhere is open. You can come to let us know about your own opinion. Thank you.